We are a few days into Counter-Strike 2's first ever Tier 1 LAN, and so far, one question has been on everyone's mind. Is the game actually ready for pro play? Well, the answer's a bit complicated. It's no secret that pro players have been some of the most outspoken when it comes to the current state of Counter-Strike 2. Many, including some of the best players in the world, are flat out unhappy. Which is why I was preparing for IEM Sydney to be an absolute shit show. If us plebs are already experiencing issues on the regular, what sort of f***ery are we going to see in an actual pro match? Well, right out of the gate, once players got to practicing, they immediately faced issues in the form of what is currently CS2's biggest problem: cheaters.
I played yesterday, I had the maximum was like 10 to 15 minutes queue, and 2 of those games were with cheaters, so it was great.
Now, minus having to face cheaters while you're trying to prepare for a tournament worth $250,000, spirits were still pretty high. Even though pros have been some of the most vocal about CS2's issues, they've also been the most excited to make the switch. Outside of simple, a lot seem to have a pretty open mind. And when ESL conducted their pre-tourney interviews, many voiced their complaints, but seemed cautiously optimistic.
I think it's interesting, you know, like the transformation from 1.6 to CSGO was way worse. So I think we have a great game, a great foundation of the game, and hopefully over time it's going to be better and better, like CSGO, you know. CSGO wasn't perfect from day one, that I can tell you. But I like the many new tactical depth, and hopefully we'll see that the next following months, but people have to adjust first.
But now that we've had a few days of seeing the game actually played at the highest level, were the concerns valid? Is the game ready for pro play? Hell, is it even ready for a spectator experience? Well, if you were to pull out all of the highlights and watch them in a vacuum, it truly felt like we were just watching a prettier version of CSGO. I'll admit, it probably helped that for whatever reason, the Deagles were f***ing slapping.
That is a big factor here as the swing big. Oh, okay, that was quite a nice one from Rain. And Carrigan, oh! Carrigan! What? He's got more left in the tank as well as he peppers Acor. I can't process what I just witnessed. What was that?
But outside of this vacuum, it's clear to tell that we are actually dealing with a lot more than just CSGO with better graphics. CS2 is a new experience in a lot of ways, and we are probably going to see some significant changes to the meta in the weeks and months to come. Sure, there hasn't been any Olaf boost level cheese yet, but we've already seen how the change to the bomb's explosion radius has affected post plants. As we know, players have to hike quite a bit further to survive the bomb at the end of a round. If you've taken any damage, that distance can be pretty significant. And guess what? On day 1 of group stages, we've already seen what the effects of this look like.
The bomb radiuses have been increased in CS2. Oh, they're going for some nonsense. Is he going to get to the bomb in time? I'm not sure. Well, oh, he's on it.
No way.
He's on it. Oh, he's going to squeeze it. Oh my God. Bobby Big Brain. I told you, Robs is the most dangerous man on the server. Rain with the defuse.
It'll be interesting to see in the future if we get more plays like this, or if Ts have to sacrifice themselves more often to get what used to be easy round wins. Regardless, the community is already losing their f***ing minds about this new revelation and are pleading for Valve to change things back. So business as usual on the Counter-Strike subreddit. Now, outside of this very specific change to the meta and maybe a few silly boosts here and there, have we actually seen any significant game-breaking issues? I was told that this game is a hot pile of garbage, that players are leaving in droves. Surely pros would be able to pull back the curtain and show to the world just how bad things truly are, right? Well, things are more complicated than a simple yes or no answer. You see, there is a very, very significant issue right now. Players are seemingly getting killed by bullets that straight up shouldn't have hit them.
Crims gets one, but is that surely the end of it? You've lost Crims now.
This is just one of many examples of this happening. Either players dying behind walls or generally getting killed when they aren't even on screen. I will even admit, this is sus as hell. And although the community always seems to jump to blaming the sub-tick boogeyman, I kinda get it this time. If the reality is that we have a massive desync issue on our hands, or that sub-tick is this bad even on LAN, this is fucking ridiculous. Putting all of the what you see is what you get memes aside, this truly takes me out of the game. Even if it's so fast that I don't notice outside of slowed down clips posted to Reddit, knowing that it's even a possibility is just always going to be in the back of my mind. I can't even imagine how pros would start to feel.
Nice. with
He didn't
quite
shoot
the
him.
airtime.
He didn't shoot him.
That being said, a lot of people in the community are claiming that this has more to do with the fact that we're watching a spectator cam rather than a one-to-one of what the players see. Others fired back saying that this issue shouldn't be this noticeable on LAN, and even pointed out that we didn't deal with this every single day in CSGO. And while I do agree, I wonder if that's because we just weren't looking before. CS2 is rightfully under a microscope, but has it gotten so bad that we're just being uncharitable? I think as the tournament continues, a lot more is going to come out and potentially clear things up. But if this is truly a CS2 issue, I wonder what Valve's response is going to be, if they have any. But what do the actual players think? They're the ones with actual money and careers on the line, so their opinions kind of hold more weight. Well, honestly, the reactions have been mixed and a little bit confusing. Snappy, who has defended CS2 in the past, recently claimed that the game is in a very bad state. However, he later clarified that his intentions are only to help push the game to improve. At the same time, Twist says that he has no issue with the game and that he's actually enjoying himself. Some players are miserable and others are confident that CS2 is already on its way to becoming better than CSGO. Believe it or not, some already think it's there. That being said, if you look on Reddit or online, people still seem unconvinced. Listen, I think we all trust Valve to make an amazing game in the future, but we live in the present. Is what we have acceptable?
It's dog shit, mate. Like, okay, maybe the registration, everything will get better over time, but the game is out now. It's not a beta. It may seem like one, but it's not. So we're having to do this because of their stubbornness.
I said it in a previous video, but like, there were so many issues when CSGO first launched and in pro play. And I just want to point out, does anyone remember how dusty the game was? Like, it was just dusty. You couldn't see anything. And it was like that for a little while. That was surely worse than anything we have now, I think.